Hello students, this is the another session of CTF in which we will discuss the 3-marker short question which is about the disclosure of share capital. For this discussion we have the accountancy expert Mrs. Seema Dukkal with 22 years of experience. Hello ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, in this session just help the students in revising the concept of disclosure of share capital, which we all know that there will be a question from this. So just kindly throw light on the particular topic.
Okay, first of all, I would like to you to see here. I would like you to tell about the format of the balance sheet and what critical things you have to keep in mind. So first of all, you have to write the heading, extract of balance sheet of XYZ Limited as at 31st March 2017. Particulars, note number, rupees. You have to write the part of the balance sheet.
If suppose student forget to write the this thing, extract of balance sheet of so and so, will there be any deduction?
It's okay, even if the child has not written extract of, it's perfectly alright. Okay, first of all we start with the equity and liabilities part. This is known as a part of the balance sheet. As students should be knowing, because most of the students would not be aware that this is known as, because at times in boards they can even ask which part. So equity and liabilities part of the balance sheet, under which we have the heading shareholders fund and the subheading share capital. Now when we are starting at share capital in the balance sheet, that is the point from where we are starting in notes to accounts. In notes to accounts, first of all we write share capital, which is the subheading, followed by the classification of share capital. This can come as a theory question also as classification of share capital. So this is what the classification of share capital is. Authorized capital for the company, this will be given in the question. So you just have to see carefully whether the number of shares is given or the amount. Don't get confused. Rupees, you should see whether rupees is written or not, since it's a very small letter, so you have to be very careful. So 20,000 shares of rupees 100 each. 20 lakhs is the total authorized capital. So that has to be written in the outer column, and the number of shares. And even if the authorized capital is not given, still it should be mentioned. So what we can do is we can just write a dash. Dash shares of rupees 100 each, we can put a cross and double line. It does not mean that if it is not given in the question, we are not supposed to show it. Then we come to issued capital. This will also be given in the question. You just have to multiply the number of shares with the face value. After that, we come to the subscribed capital. I think subscribed capital is where children face some problem.
Very true, ma'am. Generally, this is the most important part of the balance sheet, and children get confused in this, that how to calculate, what to write and all.
It seems to be difficult, but if you just keep 3 things in mind, it becomes very easy. Firstly, the number of shares. This is a starting point. Before that, I would like to tell you that subscribed and fully paid, it comes only when the full amount is called up. If full amount is not called up, then we are not supposed to show subscribed and fully paid. Then everything will be shown under subscribed but not fully paid. Okay, in this question, I am taking an example. Suppose there are 15,000 shares which are subscribed by the public, and 2,000 shares are forfeited due to non-payment of certain amount. So we just deduct the number of shares forfeited. And also, so 2 shares are to be deducted once, those shares which are forfeited, and the other those shares which are not forfeited, but on which there are calls and areas. And we add the reissued shares, because again we add it back, because again the liability is created on these shares. So 15,000 shares are being subscribed, 2,000 shares are being forfeited for non-payment of certain amount, and 800 shares are such shares which are on which there are calls in areas but which are not forfeited. Now out of 2,000 shares, 1,300 shares are reissued. So ultimately you can see, so what is the net effect? Minus 2,000 plus 1,300. So that means 700 shares which are not reissued. There is no liability on those shares. We multiply it with the face value. So the net is 15,000 minus 2,000 forfeited shares minus 800 calls in area shares and plus 1,300 reissued shares. So it comes out to be 13,500 shares. We multiply it by 100 and we get 13,50,000. So subscribed and fully paid amount is 13,50,000. Now we come to subscribed but not fully paid. Now these 800 shares which are deducted here, why did I deduct it here? Because I have to show it here separately, because on these shares amount is not received, but they are not forfeited. So calls and areas account remain opened on these shares. So 800 shares of rupees 100 each. So this is the amount which has been called up on these 800 shares. Now from this we deduct calls in arrears. Suppose on these 800 shares, final call of rupees 30 has not been received or paid. So 800 shares, 30 rupees is not paid. So the unpaid amount is 24,000. So that means 80,000 was called up. Unpaid is 24,000, so 56,000 is paid up. And lastly, forfeited shares account balance. Now forfeited shares account balance, when does it appear in the balance sheet? It appears under two circumstances. One, when the shares are not reissued at all, or secondly, when there is partial reissue. So forfeited shares, so out of 2,000 shares which were forfeited, 1,300 shares are reissued. So how many shares are not reissued? 700. So on these 700 shares, where are these 700 shares? They're lying with the company. And the amount received on these shares is rupees 70 because final call is not received. So out of 100, if 30 is not received, 70 is received. So on these 700 shares, 70 rupees is received. But this amount, where is it lying? It is lying in forfeited shares account with the company. So it is again a liability because unless we reissue the shares and we find the capital reserve on these shares, it will continue to be a liability. So 49,000 rupees is the balance of forfeited shares account. So now we add up three amounts: subscribed and fully paid, subscribed but not fully paid, and forfeited shares account balance. And this is how we get the total paid up capital, which is the actual liability, and this amount 14,55,000 will appear in the balance sheet.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope students now you have understood the concept of disclosure of share capital. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck.
Thank you very much.